On March 23rd, 1999, Sylvande Holmes told Detective Gross she seen Mr. McCool shoot Mr. Villa and herself, and that's 79 days after the incident took place. 79 days provided plenty of time for Miss Holmes to receive hearsay and then inform Detective Gross of what she said as if it was firsthand information, right? And so now, on on July 19, 2000, see, that's March 23, 1999, she told Detective Gross she seen Mr. McCool shoot Mr. Villa herself. And so the incident happened, I guess, on January sometime, I think the 3rd. And at that time, because of her injury, she couldn't talk. And so the police came and seen her, I think, a couple of days later or something. And then she was able to, yeah, she was able to point Mr. McCool out. And so the problem with that is this cat named Shantae Kendrick. He used to be from the Ville, cool dude, used to be a Crip. Um, he he uh he was talking to her at the time, and he testified. I think his documents is, his stuff is somewhere in here. But I'll just talk you through it. Shout out to Shantae, man, dude, that's my dude. Um, he he signed an affidavit. He testified at a new trial hearing, that he was talking to Savande at the time. Her back was turned to anything that could possibly have happened. And and so when she got shot, it's no way she could have seen anything because her back was to anything. And so he testified also that he didn't see me there, I wasn't there, it wasn't me. You see what I'm saying? But he didn't testify during the trial. He testified at a newly discovered evidence hearing, and they just denied it. But his testimony always been part of the record to show, like, this lady did hear it. She heard it from somebody. Soon after she got shot, he the one that picked her up and carried her outside and everything. Soon after she got shot, she was asking him. She asked him, "Who shot me? What happened? Who shot me?" So then that's the first, very right after it happened. He talking to her before it happened. He's with her after it happened. He carried her out and was with her until the paramedics came. She asked him who did it. So then when she was able finally to point out at the hospital for Gross that it was Mr. McCool, she clearly had got some type of information from somebody. See what I'm saying? It was hearsay, man. Man, it's wrong. And so now, on July 19, 2000, Miss Holmes met with Nicola Jones, the DA, the former DA, and Randy Lapp, which was my investigator. And it's transcript sites, it's just everything, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just skip through it, but everything in here is documented facts. It's documents and transcripts to support all this stuff, man. This ain't no bullshit. This ain't a motherfucker just fat mouthing. This shit is facts. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they dismissed my case. Straight up. And so on July 19, 2000, Miss Holmes met with Nicola Jones and Randy Lapp. She made statements that were favorable evidence for Mr. McCool. Miss Holmes told Miss Jones she didn't know nothing, she ain't saying nothing, she just made everything up. Somebody else told her of Mr. McCool's participation, and she told the detectives what somebody else told her. Miss Holmes also told Randy Lapp She didn't know nothing and she didn't see nothing. And so this happened on July 19th. That date is important. It is very important. Because I'm going to show you guys the timeline. And so now, on the 19th, she said all this stuff. She didn't know nothing. So now, based on the fact it took Miss Holmes 79 days to meet with Detective Gross, it is reasonably probable somebody else did tell her of Mr. McCool's participation, and she did tell the detective what somebody else told her. She really didn't know or see nothing. You see what I'm saying? And that's true. Because, see, the time that the situation took place, and then she seen Shantae, and then tell him she asked him who shot her, and then by the time she finally met with the detective 79 days later, she had a whole story concocted. You know what I mean? Like some movie shit. You can't see and see they passed a law in Oregon called I think it's state versus Lawson versus the state of Oregon, I think it is, or no, state of Oregon versus Lawson. I used to work in the call center with that dude. He's a white cat, you know what I mean? But they passed case law, groundbreaking case law in Oregon about suggestive identifications. And me and him used to sit in the same cubicle where when we worked in the call center, we looked at, we could look at each other. And so, yeah, Sam Lawson, shout out, Jackie Sam, they made that law basically changing the way identifications take place because it's so corrupt. And so one of the things they talk about is your eyes don't operate like a video camera. If you're looking at one thing, that means you can't be looking at that. So what took your eyes away from what you was doing? Why did and then the science behind it. And so, yeah, it just wouldn't hold up. And so 79 days give too much time for your memory to be contaminated. And that's what the law is about. And so, yeah, it's reasonable that, when she told Detective Gross that bullshit 79 days later, she met with the DA on July 19th and tell them, yeah, man, that was some hearsay. I didn't know, that I didn't see nothing and I didn't know nothing. And so now, see, this is what it is. On July 22nd, 2000, Mr. Spencer, rest in peace to D. Mr. Spencer and Miss Holmes had an altercation at the liquor store where he supposedly assaulted and threatened her. And so this is what this is all about. We finally got that police report, but a trial didn't have that police report. You see what I'm saying? And this is where it's all bad. And so now, on July 22nd, 2000, Mr. Spencer and Miss Holmes had an altercation at the liquor store where he supposedly assaulted and threatened her. The defense did not know about this altercation because Miss Jones did not disclose this incident to the defense before she offered it during trial. She didn't disclose it. She withheld the information in police reports, see? And this is why. On September 20, 2000, an omnibus hearing took place before Judge Keys. And so, omnibus hearing transcript over here. But during the hearing, Ms. Jones raised concern about victims and witnesses being threatened in compliance with ORS 135.970. Mr. McCool specifically requested threat evidence. See, Mr. McCool specifically requested threat evidence. So let's see if we can find this transcript real quick. I'm going to tell y'all exactly what I said on the record. Let's see exactly what I said on the record. Okay, so Mr. McCool specifically made request threat. He specifically requested threat evidence. So this is what happened. This is what I said. Miss Jones keeps saying I've been threatening some witnesses. She said this once before at a bail reduction hearing, which nobody objected to. My attorney was a dump truck. Rest in peace, still of the Bill Britt. He ain't with us no more, but he dump trucked me for real on so many levels. It's not cool. But which nobody objected to. I'm wondering if they got some evidence that she can provide us that I'm threatening those people, because I ain't threatening nobody. I wish she would quit saying that. Is there some evidence of it? See, that's a oral motion for discovery. See, right there. Miss Jones, see, she said, maybe I should clarify. It is either Mr. McCool or through third party. I have received frantic phone calls from different witnesses in this case where they have been frightened of things that have happened in their community which directly relates to this case. The court. The bottom line is this. The defendant. Does she have records of phone conversations or something? These people calling her some kind of evidence. See, that's an oral motion for discovery. You talking about somebody getting threatened? You need to provide the discovery. I mean, this is at the time, this is me talking, because I don't know what the hell she talking about, man. I ain't threatening nobody, man. I'm in here starving, broke as a motherfucking man. What do you what? And so that's what I said. And so the court said, here is the bottom line. Are you going to try to offer any of that at trial? See, that's what the judge said. Miss Jones, no, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. No. See, the court. Then at this point, it is an academic question. It seems to me your lawyer will be provided with what she's got, see, when and if she offers that evidence at trial, then I think you got a point well taken. You should get the information. If she's not, the defendant, well, she keeps saying that, and that is an outright lie. The court, let's assume she is lying for the sake of argument, or that the witnesses are lying. If you want to bring it up, what they are lying about in court, you can. But I think if you talk to your attorney, he would say, my God, let's leave that one alone. If she's not going to say it, and he's not going to say it, then it's an academic question at this point. And if it is offered in a pre-sentence report, if the event you're convicted, then this becomes a relevant issue for you to ask about. At this point, it's not. And if you're not convicted, it's not. If you are convicted, it will become a relevant issue because she will be offering it at a sentencing hearing. At that point, you should be entitled to get the further information from Ms. Jones about who, where, and when. That is my understanding of the way the law works, or that's the way it works under the law. I mean, so no matter what he's repeating over and over, she got to give you the information before she offers it in trials. This lady then told the judge she was not going to offer threat evidence at trial. Guess what she do? 2 working days later, see, this omnibus hearing happened on October 20th, a Wednesday. So you had Thursday, and you had Friday, and then you had the weekend. My trial started Monday. So when did you give the defense this document? See, when did you give them this shit? You just told the judge you wasn't gonna do it. So this lady, she manipulated the trial judge in ways because she didn't, she didn't inform or notify the court of what happened at the omnibus hearing and then notify the court, well, yeah, I changed my mind. I'm gonna bring in this threat evidence. You know, I told the judge I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm bringing notification to you, Your Honor, that yeah, now I am gonna bring threat evidence, and I'm gonna provide it to the defense or whatever the case may be. Like, she gave no notification to the court, no nothing. And so, yes, in trial, she offered threat evidence. And so, let's see. Yeah, same thing. Miss Jones told Judge Key she wasn't going to offer threat evidence on trial, and the judge basically ruled in our favor. So now, during trial, Miss Holmes testified Mr. McCool shot Mr. Villa and her. Miss Holmes explained why she made the statements to Jones and Lapp. See, she finna explain it away. Miss Jones introduced threat evidence without disclosing it to the defense before trial started, as she was ordered to do by Judge Keyes. She asked Ms. Holmes questions that caused her to give testimony about being threatened. See, this is 2 working days after the omnibus hearing. You just said you wasn't going to offer threat evidence during trial. See, and it's a reason why she didn't do it. She didn't want to disclose it. See, she just didn't. You know, it was they didn't predict me addressing the court. That part, her or my attorney, they couldn't control me. See, they can control me, and I was blurted. Your Honor, I gotta say something. This ain't right, man. This lady saying I'm convicted. I'm threatening people. You know, where's the evidence of it? See, and so yeah, that's about. And so yeah, she asked Ms. Holmes questions that caused her to give testimony about being threatened. And so Ms. Holmes testified she made statements to Miss Jones and Mr. Laps because she was scared and nervous from talking to Mr. Spencer. Because, see, again, let's just recap it real quick. On the 19th of July, she told Randy Lapp and Nicola Jones that she didn't know nothing, she ain't see nothing, she just made everything up. Somebody else told her of Mr. McCool's participation, and she told the detective what somebody else told her. Then she turned around and told Randy Lapp she didn't know nothing, she didn't see nothing. And so she's saying now, Ms. Jones introduced threat evidence without disclosing to the defense before trial started, as she was ordered to do by Judge Keyes. She asked Ms. Holmes questions that caused her to give answers or give testimony about being threatened. Ms. Holmes testified she made the statements to Jones and Lapp. See, I didn't know nothing and I didn't see nothing, because she was scared and nervous from talking to DeMarcus Spencer. See, now, okay, now Ms. Holmes testified she lied to Jones and Laps when she met them on the July 19, 2000, when she met him on the 19th of July. She's saying she lied to him. She testified she lied to them because she had been threatened, see, and that, you know, the transcript. You know what I mean? And so here it is, you just then told the judge that you wasn't going to bring in threat evidence, you wasn't going to do it. And now here it is, you got Miss Holmes, you asking Miss Holmes questions that's causing her to give testimony about being threatened. And she didn't disclose it to the defense. She didn't put us on notice about it, nothing. And so now she's talking about this incident on July 19th, on July 20th. Mr. Spencer and Miss Holmes had an altercation at the liquor store where he supposedly assaulted and threatened her. See, so that's what they're finna get into. And so let's see. And so this is kind of like in post conviction. See, I mean, because I knew they didn't disclose this threat evidence to me. I knew it, but I had to prove it. You see what I'm saying? And so it was a period of time where I fired an attorney, and I didn't have no attorney, so I was able to slide in some motions. And so I slid in this motion basically saying I want disclose the complete copy of the state's their whole discovery from start to beginning, all the new police, everything the state had in their possession, we wanted it. And so I finally got my attorney, Okai Thompson, and he made sure they followed through on it, and they ended up giving me the discovery. And so in the discovery, you see the complete copy of the state tri-level discovery the Attorney General's office disclosed to the petitioner in my post-conviction attorney, because see, we pressed a line to where they had to disclose the state's um, whole discovery file to the Attorney General's office, and then the Attorney General gave it to my attorney. And so in that, when they gave it to me, see, they didn't know. See, my lawyer had went to PPH or PPD and got the police report from the 22nd, got the police report. So we had the physical police report in our possession. And so when we having the state give us giving us the full discovery, see, that police report that we got straight from the police department, it better be in this big package of discovery that the state disclosed. You see what I'm saying, to us? It better be that police report better be in there. Because I know it's not in there. Because I know they don't have it. Because I didn't get it. I know they don't got it. And so they gave the documents to us, but it's not in there. And so we laughed at me and my attorney, Okai, like we got them, you know what I mean? So we know what it is. And so there was no report or police report in the discovery file that supported Ms. Holmes' testimony about threats. See, once it's nothing in there that support that testimony. She up there testifying about threats and all this shit with DeMarcus and all this shit. But there's no documents in that file that they disclosed to the the AG's office. See, it went to the AG's office. See, a whole nother. See, now they're held accountable too, and that document wasn't in there. See what I'm saying? So they're like, look, man, it wasn't in there. Now they tied in. See, based on the trial court's ruling during the offer of proof. The record do not support there was multiple threats and altercation. There is no ambiguity about the threat and altercation being part of the same event. There is no police report or nothing, or follow-up report or multiple reports, nothing. It's not in there. They don't have it. And so boom. During the offer of proof, see, this is the key. This is how they're going to, and then we're going to reverse engineer. We're going to go back and recap. But during trial, Ms. Holmes testified she made statements to Jones and Lapp because she was scared and nervous from talking to Mr. Spencer. Ms. Holmes testified she lied to Jones and Lapp when she met with them on July 19, 2000. She testified she lied to them because she had been threatened. And so Mr. Brennan, my attorney, did object, and the offer of proof was conducted. During the offer of proof, Judge Frankel said, let me see if I can help out here. Interest, motives, explanations for prior inconsistent statements, if any, is the relevancy. See, that's it. See, interest, motives, explanation for prior inconsistent statements. So this is all about rebutting the statement she made on the 19th, and the justification behind it is because she was threatened. See, they finna mislead the jury, and this is why it's totally wrong. The DA is wrong. It's just wrong. And so, and it's an offer of proof, and my attorney is not helping. He's totally ineffective. It's just bad. And so, Ms. Holmes testified she lied to Jones and Lapp. Oh, wait. No, down here. Inconsistent statement. Sorry. It says, let's recap. During the offer of proof, Judge Frankel said, let me see if I can help out here. Interest, motives, explanations for prior inconsistent statements, if any, is the relevancy. During the offer of proof, Ms. Jones said, well, Your Honor, I'll be bringing out what DeMarcus Spencer told Ms. Holmes not to prove the truth of the matter asserted, but just explain her state of mind and what she was thinking at the time when she gave the inconsistent statement. See, as if she's thinking about D in the altercation when she made the statements that exonerated me on the 19th of July. See, the DA knew what she was doing. That's it. That's where, see, that's evidence against, it's not, that's wrong. She knew what she was doing. See what I'm saying? And she's saying it. You see what I mean? She's saying she don't want to prove the truth of the matter, but what Miss Holmes' mind state was on the 19th of July and why she changed and made inconsistent statements that exonerated me. See? And so Miss Holmes testified. Mr. Spencer jumped on her at the liquor store and made threatening statements. She attempted to get some hearsay statements into the evidence from him. Ms. Jones wanted Ms. Holmes to testify about what Mr. Spencer said when he assaulted her. The court ruled Ms. Holmes was threatened is relevant, and the court would allow the physical confrontation. The court ruled you have before this jury already that she was threatened and who threatened her. So you will be able to describe what physical harm, if any, or acts were committed. And what you won't be able to say is what Mr. Spencer said to you. And so now, that's the offer of proof. And so based on Ms. Holmes' testimony during the offer of proof, she was threatened by Mr. Spencer during the altercation they had at the liquor store. This testimony is consistent with the information in the police report. See, the police report they finally disclosed to me, yeah, that information is consistent with the information in the police report. It's the same story, but the problem is the date is it don't help them. The date on that police report demonstrates, here what a police report is here, but we're gonna go to the timeline real quick. This is the timeline. And so now, on July 19th, the Miss Holmes, she meet with the DA and my investigator and tell them, I don't know nothing, I ain't seen nothing, somebody else told me, so I said what somebody else told me. I don't know nothing and I don't see nothing. She says that on the 19th of July. Now, on the 22nd of July, allegedly D and Savon, they get into an altercation at the liquor store. So now, in order for this altercation here to have an influence on this here, this had to happen over here, see, before the 19th of July, see, it had to happen before, see down there, it got to happen before the 19th of July, see, before the 19th of July, altercation, yeah, threats, blah, blah, blah. And then the 19th, boom, she meets with them and exonerated me. See, that's the right order. See, no, it didn't happen like this. That's not the order. See, that's not the order. See, on the 19th of July, she exonerated me. 3 days later, her and D allegedly get into some type of altercation. Well, she's saying because of this altercation, that's why she said that. See, that can't be right because the timeline is not right. See, that's a lie. And the DA knew it was a lie. And so the DA coerced her to do that because how did Savande know when to lie? She told her to. She told her, all right, they knew. They was on the same record. I mean, because at the time, you know, Savande was finna get that settlement money. She was trying to get that settlement money. She greedy, so she ready to say what anything they got to say. You know what I'm saying? And that's just fucked up though, you know? But that's what she did. And so, yeah, the timeline is not right. But this is what they concocted during the offer of proof hearing. And so, like it says, so during the altercation they had at the liquor store, the testimony is consistent with the information in the police report. See, based on Ms. Jones' statement during the offer of proof, her objective was to make it seem like Ms. Holmes was under some form of threat by Mr. Spencer when she made the inconsistent statements at the meetings on July 19, 2000. Ms. Jones was setting it up for Ms. Holmes to further mislead the jury with perjured testimony by making it seem like the altercation she had with Mr. Spencer at the liquor store happened before the meeting. See, and that's why it's just so sinister where a person is abusing their power. You see what I mean? The awesome power of the state just to win. You see what I'm saying? You gotta cheat to where that's what they did. You see what I'm saying? And so the offer of proof is over. Mr. Brennan, he could have stopped it all by just simply asking the judge, when did it happen, Your Honor? When did this happen? What date? See, he didn't do it. He didn't because they was in on it. He sat on his hands. Your Honor, what date did this happen? Can we, what date? Because if they say the date, wait a minute. That couldn't have had no influence on the statements on the 19th. It happened 3 days later. They're caught in a lie. It's a problem, see, because now you can't redeem the exoneration. You can't redeem the identification. See, right? Nobody else testified that Mr. McCool did a crime, and so now if so that's the whole thing, and so they had to they look peep the game, yo. So now it's just messed up. Brennan should have just all he had to do was say when did it happen. But it didn't happen that way. Things happened the way it was meant to happen. And I'm here to tell you guys this story. And so that's the most important part because it's important. This is real shit. And so we back on the record now after the offer of proof. Brennan didn't truck me. And now they finna mislead the jury. And it's crazy. So, and they do it right there. It's right there. Miss Jones. Now, Miss Holmes, you mentioned that DeMarcus Spencer threatened you. What else did he do to you? Miss Holmes, he went to slug me, and I was locked in the truck. So I moved back like this, demonstrating. And when I moved back, he barely hit me. And he grabbed me by my neck, and he came into the truck, and he was on top of me. So I started hitting him on the top of his head with a bottle, and my cousin jumped in the car. The DA said, slow down a bit. And what effect? When did this happen? This is what Savande said. Probably like the next week after I had already talked to you guys, see? So now, here it is on the record. How could that situation then influence the situation on the 19th if it happened probably like a week or probably like the next week after I had already talked to you guys? See, right there on the record, that incident had no influence on the exoneration statements. So why is it even in the record? Why did they do this? See, why did this DA do that? And then why did my lawyer not object and why he didn't catch it? I mean, it happened the way it was meant to happen, but man, you see what I'm saying? That's what it is. And so what effect did this event have on you? See, she said, he choked me a lot. I was pregnant. And I was just like, tripping. I was like, I ain't going to say nothing or nothing. How did it affect you in relations to coming in and testifying? That's what I'm saying. I wasn't liking to come do it or whatever. Did he frighten you? Yeah, because they went up to my auntie's house. You see what I mean? And that's the transcripts. And so now that's the testimony, see? See what I'm saying? To justify the exoneration statements, right? And so now, here go the police report. You know, it was Lil Carl, it was Green Eyes, somebody Lindell Wallace, Chelsea Kingler or something like that. And it's talking about a burgundy Cadillac. And so it says on 7/22/2000 at approximately 22:50, I was dispatched to uh, 1119 Northeast Thompson on an incomplete phone call. Upon arrival, I contacted CO Holmes, who stated she was assaulted about an hour prior to calling 911. Holmes stated she was out with her cousin in a white Ford Explorer when she saw her baby's godparents near the liquor store at Beach and MLK. Miss Holmes stated she and her cousin pulled over to talk with the godparents. Holmes told me she, W1 Ware, W2 Hedgeman, and SB2 Henry were all riding in the Explorer together. Holmes stated the godparents were SB3 Wallace and SB4 Kingler. Holmes stated Wallace and Kingler pulled their car into the parking lot just south of the liquor store at Beach and MLK. Holmes and her cousin was pulled into the parking lot. Holmes told me she didn't. She got out the Explorer and walked over to Wallace and Kingler, where Ware, Henry, and Hedgeman waited in the Explorer. Holmes stated a few minutes later she saw a burgundy Cadillac pull into the lot. Holmes told me she saw three men in the car. Holmes identified the man as one Spencer, B2 Barr, which is Turtle, and SB Jenkins, Lil Carl. It's like Holmes stated the Cadillac stopped in the lot and she saw A1 Spencer get out. Holmes stated Spencer walked up to her and said, "Hey, you bitch, it's time for me to whoop your ass. My homeboy going to get life and you out here kicking it." Holmes told me Spencer then stated, "You an old snitch ass bitch." Holmes stated when Spencer was cursing at her, she got back into the Explorer. Holmes stated Spencer grabbed her by her neck through the window of the Explorer. Holmes stated she was trying to get away by kicking at Spencer and moving over to the driver's seat. Holmes told me she was having trouble getting away from Spencer because her feet was caught up. Holmes told me she grabbed a bottle and tried to hit Spencer with it, but Barr grabbed the bottle and pulled her out the Explorer. Holmes stated Ware was in the backseat of the Explorer while she was getting attacked by Spencer. Holmes stated Ware also grabbed a bottle and started hitting Spencer. According to Holmes, Spencer started to go after Ware, and that is when she was pulled out of the Explorer by Barr. Holmes stated Barr never hit her and was just trying to calm her down. Holmes is 7 months pregnant and Barr was trying to keep her from getting hurt. Holmes told me she saw Ware getting attacked by Spencer and she was trying to get back and help her, but she could not because Barr was blocking her way. Holmes stated her cousin, W2 Hedgeman, got out the Explorer and went after Spencer. Holmes told me Spencer and Barr both turned on Hedgeman and started beating him up. Oh Lord. Now this is just allegations. I wasn't there. I don't know what the hell they talking about. So this is crazy shit. And so let me see. Henry Holmes told me that beat him up. Henry tried to help Hedgeman by telling Spencer and Barr that this was wrong because Hedgeman is his family. According to Holmes, Spencer and Barr beat on Henry a little bit, but not as bad as they beat on Hedgeman. Holmes stated during the time Spencer and Barr stated started to attack Hedgeman. She jumped back in the Explorer and drove away. Holmes stated Hedgeman and Ware were able to run away from Spencer and Barr while Henry stayed behind in the parking lot. Holmes told me that Jenkins never got into the fight and just stood on the sideline. Holmes stated Spencer, Barr, and Jenkins all jumped back into the car when they saw her leaving the area. Holmes told me Spencer followed her for at least 5 minutes through the blocks. Holmes stated she finally lost them and returned to her dress. Holmes stated Henry and Hedgeman were at her house also, but she did not know what happened to Ware. Henry and Hedgeman did not want to speak with me at the house and left when I arrived. Holmes stated Spencer, Barr, and Jenkins continued to look for her and went to 1312 Northeast Prescott. Holmes stated this is Ware's house. Holmes stated she heard from a friend that some bricks were thrown through the window at that location. She see Officer Yee's incident report on CO Henry, Geneva, and Mary for further details. Holmes stated this fight occurred because she is a witness in an attempted homicide case against Joel McCool. Holmes stated Spencer, Barr, and Jenkins are all associated with Mr. McCool. Holmes was given information to contact the DA to file a complaint. And so there you have it. See, this happened on 7/22/2000, 7/22/00. That's the day this happened. See, it's no way this incident or alleged incident or whatever the fuck, is no way it influenced the statements on the 19th. That's the point. It don't matter. It's fucked up. Whatever the fuck they had going on, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. But the whole point is that incident didn't influence the exoneration statements on the 19th of July. And that's the truth. And so again, man, Brennan, my lawyer, he just sat on his hands. He didn't help. He dump trucked me. That's just the truth too. So more cross-examination came about where she disclosed basically, like, Mr. Brennan asked her some questions. Let's see if I can fast track it, boom, 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 but not really. And this came up somewhat later, a little bit later, when was that? About a week later. You see what I'm saying? Okay. And after this incident where you became scared, how long was it then before you made contact with the district attorney's office? See, the whole point is now once he didn't establish that it happened a week later, why is my attorney not moving for a mistrial? And so what she says, about a week later, okay, and after the incident where you became scared, how long was it then before you made contact with the DA's office? Oh, I called them the night, I believe. Now, actually, it wasn't the DA's office, it was the DA's helper, Mr. Goff. Officer Goff? Uh-huh. You know what I mean? Whatever the case, it wasn't Officer Goff, and she knew it. She was playing games, but the whole point is she's saying straight up, I told a police officer, see? And so, on the record now, see, if she told the police, guess what? It better be some type of police report to support this document, see? Because we're talking about threats that the DA had just said she wasn't going to offer. She just had said at the omnibus hearing 2 working days before, I'm not offering threat evidence, but here it is, threat evidence. Didn't disclose it, didn't put us on notice, didn't say nothing, no nothing. You see what I'm saying? And now my attorney is sitting up there playing stupid when he know what he should have did. One, he should have asked, what date did this happen? That's one thing. And then here, he should have moved for mistrial because it's already established now in the record that the incident happened a week after that incident. And see, that type of situation, you can't leave a jury to figure that shit out. See, that's because it's part of the record. They think it's good. They ain't been instructed nothing on that. And that's why it's just more sinister. You see what I'm saying on the DA's part and the attorney's part, because he sat on his hands and didn't do nothing. He could have moved for a mistrial because it was established that that incident that happened at the liquor store, whatever the case may be on that alleged situation, it did not influence the statements on the 19th when she exonerated me. See, this is all irrelevant. It never should even be before the jury. So it's nothing they can do. They got a mistrial, but my lawyer didn't do that. He sat on his hands, and so um, he go in again and establish that basically it happened a week later. So it's clear it happened a week later. I said first, Ms. Holmes testified that she was scared, nervous, and threatened. That's why she made the statements to Jones and Lapp. Ms. Holmes made it seem like the threat happened before she had the meeting with them on July 19th. During the offer of proof, Ms. Holmes testified she had an altercation with Mr. Spencer at the liquor store, and that is consistent with the police report. Then testified the altercation with Spencer's supposed altercation. That's what made her say the stuff to Randy Lapman, basically. And so let's see, there's a couple other pages I skipped. And so now, see, because what happened is, I'm saying, based on DDA Russell's email to AG Aaron James and petitioners, in my petitioners exhibit list. Basically, we saying now, like here, we now know that Ms. Jones had the police report in her possession. Vince would have learned the facts surrounding the incident had she disclosed it. The bigger point is this. The date on the withheld police report would have revealed the altercation actually happened on July 22nd, 3 days after she had made the statements to Jones and Lapp. See, the threat and altercation hadn't taken place yet when she met with them on July 19th. See, in legal terms, it's called the tail is wagging the dog. See, it's backwards. The tail is wagging the dog. And so Ms. Jones now admits she possessed the police report. It was her duty and obligation to disclose the police report before trial started.